our regular Planning Commission meeting of April 20th, 2017, pledged by Dan. With Joe.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Commissioner Heedy?
Here.
Commissioner Padilla is absent. Commissioner McLaughlin?
Here.
Vice Chair Dunstan?
Here.
Chair Mercado?
Here. No reordering of agenda. No presentations. So we'll go to approval of minutes of our regular Planning Commission meeting of April 6th. Have a motion.
I motion to approve.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye. Public comments? Seeing none. Consent calendar? None. Continue public hearings? None. We'll go to our new public hearings.
You have to announce it first.
Okay. Resolution number 17-05, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Buellton, California, approving a development plan modification to an approved final development plan to allow 28 park trailers to occupy 28 RV spaces at 180 Avenue of the Flags, and making findings in support thereof.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to have to recuse myself, owning property within 500 feet of the property.
Great, thank you.
So I'll be outside.
All right, Dan.
Andrea.
Chair Mercado, Commissioners, good evening. This is the development plan modification to Flying Flags Phase 3. So this is the vicinity map here, and it's the Flying Flags Resort located in between the Highway 101 to the east and Avenue of Flags to the west, and south of Highway 246. So just to give you a little background, back in September of last year, final development plan was approved for Phase 3 of development of Flying Flags Resort, and the project included a third swimming pool, a spa with a restroom, 29 RV campsites, 7 tent sites, pool pavilion event building, maintenance building, laundry building, concrete ball court, 2 bocce ball courts, and 33 parking spaces. At the time of this approval, it was understood that the 29 RV campsites would consist of a gravel pad for visitors to park their personal RVs on the site. Since then, it's been clarified what the intention of the applicant was, and so that is the purpose of this modification. So the project description is, the development plan modification is for a request for development plan modification to 16 FDP 04 to allow 28 RV park trailers to occupy 28 spaces previously approved as RV spaces. So to get into what that would consist of for the development plan modification, it would consist of a change to condition A1 of resolution number 1606, which was the resolution for the approved final development plan. And the change would just be to the project description, and which would add the wording in red, as you see on the screen. So the project description describes it as 29 RV campsites, and the wording that would be added as part of the development plan modification would be, of which 28 spaces to be occupied by park trailers, to clarify the intended use of those RV spaces be occupied by park trailers. It would also modify the approved site plan that has the project description on it as well, with the same wording to clarify what the intended use for those spaces is. So I just included this site plan to show you the location of where, which RV spaces we're talking about, and it's if you recall, the approved development plan included 29 RV spaces. There is one to the south near the river, which is in the 200-foot setback, so that's why that would not be included as one of the park trailers. So the 28 remaining would be, instead of RV spaces, would be occupied by park trailers. So these are just images, and you have this as, I believe, attachment 5 to the packet. Just a couple of chosen images of what these park trailers look like. There are some existing on the site currently, so they would just match what is currently existing on the site. The trailers are consistent with the ranch design style and the community design guidelines as well. So the conditions of approval, all of the conditions of approval included in the 16 FDP 04, the original final development plan for this, for Phase 3, would remain, with the addition of one condition that would be applicable solely to the development plan modification, and that is just fire department approval, just including, having the fire department inspect and review these park trailers before they're installed. So, also, just as a side note, this is in regards to lighting. This is already included as a condition of approval to the development plan, but I just thought to note that there was no lighting details or exterior lighting details on the plan. So just to reiterate that the park trailers would need to comply with the code for dark sky friendly and lighting and LED or equivalent. In the environmental review, this project would be a Class 1 categorical exemption for existing facilities, and that is because it involves negligible or no expansion of the existing use. The RV spaces would be, as approved, would be occupied by RV trailer or other RVs that would be pulling into the site, and this would just be, an RV another type of RV trailer, essentially. So it wouldn't really be expanding the existing use at all. It also meets the criteria for the general exemption under California Code of Regulations, Section 15162. Basically, there were two previous negative declarations prepared for this project site, and the project has not substantially changed since their preparation. So the recommendation is that Planning Commission consider the adoption of Resolution Number 1705, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Buellton, California, approving a development plan modification 17 DPM 01 to an approved final development plan 16 FDP 04 to allow 28 park trailers to occupy 28 RV spaces at 180 Avenue of Flags, Assessor's Parcel Number 137-200-085, and making findings in support thereof. And that's it. I'm available for questions if you have any.
Thank you, Andrew. Questions?
I've got a couple, just high level. I know it said the environmental review does not require anything really additional because it's considered not a significant change, essentially. I don't know RVs very well, but I would assume you put a structure on a property versus having 4 wheels or a number of wheels. That might have a different element to soil compaction and other things like that. So how is that interpreted from the overall code? Is there a difference between having one of these types of structures in place versus an RV? Or does that even a consideration?
It's an RV. What they're putting on is an RV.
Oh,
It's
it
not,
is?
there's no permanent foundation, no nothing. So it's
Oh.
the same wheeled on. They just put some skirting around it, and then they can be wheeled off. So
Oh.
there's no difference between the two.
Wow.
And the applicant can explain that further, but, well, no, when you get up for your presentation.
Any other questions?
Well, maybe just to that you'll probably address it, but it's what you currently, I think what they currently have on the property.
Right. We'll open up public comment, and we'll have the development.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Andrea. That was an awesome presentation. I just wanted to clarify that those park trailers are registered with the DMV. They are classified as an RV. We just want to make sure that you guys are seeing what we want to put out. We're excited about it. The city's growing really awesome, and we're happy to be part of it.
Can I ask questions, or do you want to?
Yeah.
So what's the decision? What came down the road to decide to go this route versus?
Well, the idea behind this is we're offering many amenities for different families and RV. What we're trying to do is allow your mom and pop that can't afford an RV to be able to come visit the park and enjoy the family atmosphere with their RV traveling families. This is the idea behind the park trailers.
Okay. So you're saying, like, from a business perspective, it's it kind of expands your options.
Right. Yeah. Open it up to even for your staycation people who like to live in the area that just want to get out of their house and hang out somewhere. They can go and hang out at one of our cabins. Fantastic conditions. They don't got to clean up their mess. It's a pretty cool idea.
If I to add one thing to that, just in case you're not familiar with the property. I'm Dan Ballin, I'm the manager of Flying Flags. And so one of the things that we've done at Flying Flags is try to make the property, the resort, accessible to everybody. So we have many different unique types of opportunities there for people to stay in. They can bring their own RVs, they can pitch their own tents, they can stay in the cottages, just like we're talking about now, the park trailers. And we do have 20 some out of those already on the property. This is just for the new expansion area. But we also have glamping safari tents, and these are beautiful tents that are already set up and ready for people to come in that don't want to have to drag and spend 3 hours setting up their own tents. They have leather sofas inside and king-size beds, and so there literally is something for everybody at the property, and that's kind of what it's about.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
I'll give you a personal tour, Brian.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Apparently I need to come by and visit.
No, the park trailers are really, really nice.
Okay. Okay, we'll close or our next comment is Nancy Emerson.
I always like to bring you some reading material. I brought some IDA brochures about energy and light pollution. 2, 3, 4.
Is this different what you've passed to us before?
You haven't had this.
Okay.
We'll leave them for Dan, otherwise in case
And I brought a gadget I thought you might like to see. Sometimes you're dealing with properties where they're doing remodel, and you would like to encourage them to retrofit their existing lights so that they will be dark sky friendly along with the new ones. This is a wonderful gadget if it's a top-loaded lamp in a light fixture for making it dark sky friendly. It's called a dark sky cup, and it costs about $15, so it's very cost effective. So just to give you a tool in your arsenal when people come to you. And then I just wanted to speak about the RV park and the lighting, which we haven't been able to see up close, to know the details of whether the trailers are coming with dark sky friendly lights on them, or whether the client is going to need to ask the manufacturer to provide a dark sky friendly light. What do you know about that, please?
We are absolutely,
We
gotta go
Yeah.
through the chair.
We'll wait till after,
Yeah.
we can go through your presentation, then we'll
Okay.
have the applicant come back
So that's
through.
my question, because my experience with building for the Bethania Preschool, where API and Santa Maria did the building, was that they were glad to offer you lighting equivalency for the money that they had spent on their standard light, and then put on a dark sky friendly light for you. So there should not have to be any additional cost to use a dark sky friendly light if you get in there at the beginning of the manufacturing process. And so that's, I'm not taking a position on the park, but just simply supporting you with condition 27, which does require the outdoor lighting be dark sky friendly.
Great.
The one other comment I would make is that we would ask that the LED be soft white or 3,000 Kelvin or lower to protect the wildlife.
Thank you. We'll have the applicant come back up and give a response.
Thank you so much for your concern. And we're absolutely doing night-friendly lighting, including on the cabins. All lights have covers, and they all point down. So we're absolutely concerned ourselves, as anyone else, of the night lighting. So there should be no concerns there. It is an atmosphere thing too, you know, for the park. We want to keep it low light. See, it's a mood for the clients too. We don't want to brighten up any areas just not inviting. So everything's dim and low, and very very friendly to the visitors there. So.
Great, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for the applicant? Any other questions for the applicant? Seeing as, we'll close public comment and bring it back up to you. Commissioner, any comments?
No comments here.
No. They've been a good member of the community, and the plan that was brought to us last year, Dan did a great job of presenting it at that time, and these changes are very minor, so I'd be in favor of that. So if we could entertain a motion?
All motion to approve? Should I say the number?
Yeah.
Well, by motion and waive further reading. Just by waive further reading for the, you don't have to read it all.
Okay, got it. Where are we at here? Let's see. Let me just get the right one. Here it is. I motion to approve resolution number 17-05 and waive further reading.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Roll call?
Vice Chair Dunstan,
Approve.
Commissioner McLaughlin,
Approve.
Chair Mercado.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Then we'll go to, we need to go.
Should we go get Dan?
Yeah,
All right,
we'll get
him
Dan.
out.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, everybody. Hope you can come visit sometime. I really enjoy it.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll get them to drag me back in, with Claire and Brian.
I'm allowed back in.
Yes, you are.
You look happy, so I imagine it passed.
So we'll go to other business, which is the conceptual review of the Central Homes project. Andrea?
All right, Chair Mercado, Commissioners, this is the conceptual review for the Central Homes project. You might recall a few months back you saw a preliminary review for the Central Townhomes project, and in response to Planning Commission comments, the applicant has, comments and concerns, the applicant has come back with a sort of reworked project, which is called the Central Homes project, for the same site there at 410 Central Avenue on the corner of First and Central. So the new concept, this is the conceptual site plan for the new concept here. And as you can see, there's 8 single-family homes proposed. The zone is in the RM16 zone, so maximum of 16 dwelling units per acre, and that's within, these 8 units are within that standard. It would include also a central common open space pathway, and each single-family home is has approximately 1,700 square feet of floor area, and they're 2 stories. The size is 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths for all 8, and there, as you can see here on the site plan, there are 6 proposed new driveways: 2 on Central, 2 on First, and 2 along the alley. And also, you can see on the site plan in the center, the 4 units in the center there, they would have shared access driveways to limit the number of driveways along the streets. As part of the project, they would be processing a tentative tract map as well to divide. Currently it's 3 parcels. This property is 3 parcels, and they would be dividing it into 9 parcels, 8 for each individual single-family home and 1 for as a common lot for the open space area. So this is not a formal submittal. This is just a conceptual review at this point to get your comments and concerns and anything that you have to say about the project. But it would require a final development plan and a tentative tract map, which, because a tentative tract map is proposed, would require final approval from the City Council. So also, it would require, this project would require some sort of a management company to oversee the common open space area, and it would be required to have CCNRs. And additionally, because it's a residential project, the inclusionary zoning requirements for affordable housing would apply in this case. So they would be required to provide 15% affordable units, which if there's 8 units would be 1.2 units. They would be required to comply with all of the RM16 regulations and standards. Staff has not reviewed the conceptual plans for conformance with these standards because this is just a conceptual review. But at this time, the applicant and staff request your comments or questions that you may have about regarding the project.
Go ahead, Dan. Questions?
Just the use of an alleyway as driveways off of an alleyway, doesn't seem very common, but is that legal?
It's legal. There are a few that we have along Central, especially on
Okay.
the south of Highway 246, that have them. And there's some units on the
And
north
Vintage
side.
Walk has a majority of their access off the alley as well.
Okay. And then the 1.2 affordable housing, so they would usually, in lieu of, and I guess this is a question about, when you do in lieu of, and you have money, where does that money go?
We have an affordable housing fund in the budget, and that's where it goes and can be used. We use some of it for the repair projects at the mobile home park, and then we also have money available for partnering with anybody who does an affordable housing project. So
And so the staff would recommend that they build to 1 and that the 0.2 be paid for?
I would say for such a small project as we've done on others, that we would collect the fee for the entire 1.2.
For the entire 1.2?
Yeah, when
Okay.
it's a small, and we've done that for projects around
Yeah.
10 units, we've collected the fee instead. It's a little easier. When it's a larger project, the economy of scale, it's easier to manage the number of units, whereas the one,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
difficult.
Okay, that's all I have.
Any other questions for staff? All right, we'll open it up for the applicant to speak to us. Mr. Kim?
Hello, everybody. I really appreciate it with Andrea's presentation, which was so wonderful. And the main purpose to make you, the commissioner, to be happy. No height, those 3 stories house. It's just single story. Make it simple. It's very friendly to the neighborhood. Every house is only 2 story, so you don't worry about height. And then actually we just try to utilize the 2 driveway along the first street. That's the existing one. One is, another one is. 1/3 is half this existing one. Actually, this existing driveway is some part of the existing one. It's extended. And then
You need to, you gotta take the microphone.
Take the microphone.
over there.
And then also we try to minimize the driveway side along the Century Boulevard and then alley. So we just try to make the 2 face to face the driveway.
Okay.
So I think we prepared some elevation. Yeah, so elevation is very simple. Let's just start.
And what's the height to the top of the roof?
It's around 24 something, just
Okay.
very standard one. And then
Okay, thank you.
that's what we try, and then if you have any question there, I appreciate it to answer.
Pardon?
Do you have any questions?
I have just a question on design. Why no half bath on the first floor?
Why?
Yeah, I'm just curious why there's not a half bath on the first floor of the units.
With helping means
Like a powder room? Like no shower, just a...
actually this is just conceptual, and then if
Okay.
you agree, we just try to develop more and more
Oh,
as
okay.
in this size. So you mentioned about powder room, right?
Yeah, powder room, half bath.
Half bath, yeah, this will be provided 2.5 baths.
So these will all be for sale housing.
Right.
And could you go back to the plot, or, the... So what will be the common area? Is it all the grass, or because individual owners?
No, we just, this common area.
Right
main-
down the middle?
Yeah, in the middle. In the middle, main point is make the open space more, and second one is entrance to the alley side of the house,
Okay.
and to using this side. It's a kind of traffic concern. You can
Use the microphone.
Yeah, yeah. And then an alley to walk on.
Do you plan on having, and I think it notes it here, but you plan on having a wall or a fence around the entire property?
We didn't decide yet, actually. It's
Okay.
make some lower fence,
Okay.
rather than 5 feet high, no. It's lower, like a 6 feet high, something.
I would just be worried that you would have people off the street walking into the center courtyard, the common areas, and just, which, is that something you would want? I would assume not, but
Actually, I didn't think about it,
you
but
didn't think about that?
it's going to be
Yeah.
to open the public too. If you walk past the way, it'll be okay. More safety area though, so.
That's interesting.
Because I think that is how you access the front doors.
Oh, right.
So it has to be open to so
Yes.
people can
Okay.
get to the access
But
to
you
the
could-
units.
Gates, keys, or
Right.
key codes or something might be, just questions, just trying to get an understanding of the ideas
Actually
and the concept.
minimized, we didn't think about the entrance door, the gate on it, no. Each house has gates,
Yeah.
door side, and then it might be much better than it's open to the public. Everybody can walk up.
Okay.
So from the street, or from any of these elevations, is there going to be some, are they just, they look like they're just going to be sort of flat in
Yeah.
front? Is that what, is there going to be any undulation or anything, or is it just, I'm looking at this first one, the first page, and it looks like that's pretty flat, lower left one. So there's no give and take, or there's no setback on any of the buildings, or
Setbacks
on-
will be like a 4 to 5 feet. So actually,
No, I mean on the building itself, on the house itself. Just going to be pretty much flat surfaces, it looks like?
it's true.
Okay.
It's true.
Anything else?
It's a covered balcony, so pretty.
And what is, can you go back to the previous slide? It's not, yeah, this one right here. So 3 of the perimeters are going to be with roads or alleys, and then the one is going to be abutting up against another property.
You mean this end up?
Yeah. What's the plan with that side? Are you thinking about a fence or some kind of wall to?
You mean this side?
Yeah, it looks like the side on the left-hand
This
side.
way?
Yes.
There should be some type of fencing or wall for between the
It's already
The adjoining
same wall
properties,
in the
yes.
property, but
Yeah, it references on the plan here that you're a stucco wall with board fence, but I'm just trying to get an understanding of the vision that you're having here. It feels like there's a little bit more to go here.
And then,
But is that on the outside of the property, or you're talking, I see it, but is it at the property line? Where you're going with the fencing? Yes.
fence, frankly, I didn't concern about the fence this area though. It's very narrow, but if it's private party who wanted to fence, that's what he's going to do. I don't know, the portion. So personally, I do not want it to make a fence, just open area.
I think staff would be recommending on the side between the other property to have some type of fencing from the adjoining property that's not part of this development.
no,
Yes, I like to explain that. Actually, this is CMU wall, we decorated with timber already. So if you want, maybe we close this, but personally, I prefer to open that. We follow you.
and then trash collection, it'll be just an individual homeowner, so
Yes.
they'll set
inside
the trash
corridor,
cans.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll
The
set the
street
trash
signs.
cans, and
Both.
I guess my asking is, that alley big enough for Marburg to get down?
Well, we will have Marburg, we'll take a look at this,
Yeah,
and we'll
it's just-
require their sign off on the design.
As far as I know, when I check it out, there's a waste collection company, Margos, and then they used to be use alley or Century Bluebird. They don't want to make any access there, so.
Okay.
Any further questions?
No, I think just my comments would be that I would like to see a better sense of the architectural design. I think what you were saying, the flat, is it all flat? And
Not really, actually, pops out even.
Okay,
more.
because it's hard to
Yes.
tell with
Hard
the
to
flat
tell.
drawing.
Of course, yes.
And then the units that share the same driveway, I would hope that each of the units would have some individuality to them, so they all wouldn't be the same cookie cutter look. So it would be, each would have its individual look, but it would all fit together.
I will try to do that,
Okay.
yes.
And then I'm kind of not understanding what you're thinking of that middle space. If that's just like a paved path or concrete path for.
And not complete path, actually. I
Okay.
already showed this with grass on it, just flat on.
Okay.
And this way, two way here. Inside here is drainage system on it, like a detention basin with.
Okay.
So most of the drain is going this way. This one.
Okay. And then, again, have you thought about outdoor patio space and, where would people put a grill and?
It's a good idea though, yes.
Because I actually was thinking that folks who would be interested in this type of development might like more of a community feel.
Okay.
So if there is, I'm not sure if my commissioners agree, but like a shared barbecue space or something that's shared among the residents, because
That's
you
the
are
idea,
essentially
though.
buying
Yeah.
into
So
a
what
small
I'm really
community.
concerned about this area though,
What was that?
this area,
Uh-huh.
common area.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, or in front area somewhere, we can try.
Okay.
We try to.
Yeah, I agree a lot with what Morgan said over here in regards to just the feel of it. I'm having a hard time really getting a vision for what you're looking to do. I think, it gives a sense, but I think there's a lot of questions still to be answered. A communal area in the middle might be an option you willing to consider, make it more, kind of friendly for the community as a center area. I speak from experience when I talk about the fencing and having some kind of restricted access, because I have family members that live in neighborhoods like this, and they have fencing and keys that are access for the common areas, and they still have problems with, elements coming in. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be an issue here, but there's the potential for that. So just maybe some thought around that. And then as you build out the plans, I think more kind of color board, kind of, an idea of what kind of structures they're going to look like. I get the materials, but what it looks like, maybe some different vantage points with the different buildings next to each other, perspective type things. That would help us a lot to really understand what you're trying to achieve. But yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you took it down to 2 stories. Thank you for that.
That was much better.
I agree with having some type of common, because you look at it, they don't have very big backyards, and the only thing they have, or side yards or whatever, you're pretty much living right next door to people. And so you're going to have a community there anyway, and so if you have something that draws them into the center with a picnic tables and a barbecue or something, I think it would be a nice amenity.
Okay.
But thank you for taking down the story. I think your neighbors thank you too.
Just to expand on it, I think all of us, if Joe was still here, would be here, just more depth to what we want to see. I think it would help everybody. So, if that could, when you bring it up for your final approval, we need to have better drawings. So.
We try our best.
Yes. Well, this is much better. This is much better. This is.
So I have another question.
Go ahead.
Those units that have single driveways, are people pulling right into a garage?
You mean
the 4 corner units?
Yeah.
The front side is sidewalk.
Like the gray area
Right
is your
here.
driveway,
Yeah.
not that one, the corner units?
With the single driveway.
Yeah.
single driveway.
Are you pulling right into, what you are seeing is the garage door?
No, the gray area is the driveway,
Right, but where's the garage?
right there.
Yeah. Go to the elevation, Andrea.
Entrance here, but we prepare the side entrance here. Both of sides
So,
can enter. On this, when you can go here, or park here, you can go here, inside the house, you can go
Okay.
here. So we provide a side entrance, side.
But what,
Go-
but when
go-
you're looking
go
at
back
the
to the elevation,
driveway,
Andrea.
I'm looking at the
Right-
garage.
right-
That
right
bottom
there.
left, and I'm looking at the garage.
That's what
Yeah.
you'll be looking at.
Which you'll see from Central Avenue.
Right, versus those center units, you pull in and then the garage is to the side. You're not seeing the garages from the road.
That is correct.
That's true.
So my comment on that is I really hate pulling into a driveway and seeing garage.
Oh.
So I don't know from an architectural perspective if there's a way that you kind of maybe create kind of a courtyard where the garage is tucked on the side. I mean, I don't know if there's enough space. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if
We've worked with Mr. Kim on this.
Okay.
And that's why, go back to the site plan, Andrea, that's why we have a couple that have the side entries. To do it all like that, you really wouldn't be able to get the
Okay.
units on there. So we did have that concern as well.
Okay.
And living in a house that has a driveway that leads right to a garage, I mean, it doesn't bother me. It always bothers me when they could have put a window there or something.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the ones over here in Riverview and stuff, but I see what if you're trying to get maximum, they'd have so much trouble doing different outlet layout than this. So I understand the necessity for it.
And he has done several layouts before this one was brought forward, and this is kind of the one staff felt kind of
Worked best.
worked best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We have one public comment, Nancy Emerson.
Should identify myself. Nancy Emerson, We Watch, Save Our Stars. I appreciated information about the public lighting on the conceptual plans. Usually you don't see lighting this early, and those both look excellent from my viewpoint. As I said for the prior client, we really want to see 3,000 Kelvin, which is a soft white light in all the outdoor lighting. And I will be interested to see what the light fixtures are for the front doors and the garages. That's one detail, but that's not something you usually see yet. And I do have some literature for the applicant.
Okay, we'll close public comment and bring it back to the, any further comments before we?
Comments here?
No, just thank Mr. Kim. We appreciate presenting this newer project to us, and we look forward to seeing finals.
So I think what that means, Mr. Kim, is I think you can move forward. You move forward on this design, working with Andrea on it, and we'll get it then back to the commission for the usual process.
Yeah, huge difference. Thank you.
We'll go to written communications. We have none.
None.
Planning Commission comments? Seeing none. Planning Director report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Commons and Live Oak, the appeal period for both has passed, and none of them were appealed. So they'll be ready to start submitting their building plans and grading plans and start to get those moving forward. So,
People ask me all the time, you know, when are we going to be bowling? So, I mean, seeing how long they've been drawing things and how they've had to, what's your best guess when the first
Andrea,
year and a half?
what did
I want to, I mean, it's hard to say, going through the process, but I think they want to start construction as soon as possible, so I think they're getting ready to submit plans and putting everything together.
I think
so.
that what they told us is, beginning of the year, next year.
Oh, so starting construction or?
No, trying to be open at the beginning of
I'll
the
get my
year.
bowling shoes.
Yeah, so they got to get the plans in, get them approved, and then start the construction, but,
Okay, thank you.
you see, Highway 246 is rolling along. I think right now there's a delay because the utility companies need to come out and take care of some things before they can continue. So as we've experienced before, that holds up some projects sometimes, waiting for utilities to come in. So that's why you're not seeing as much activity this week on the project.
And I know somebody who works for Caltrans, and your
Yes, I
advice
know we
last
do.
night was don't drive on 246 this weekend because they're going to have 3 boom trucks there, and they're changing out all of the stoplights to new LED stoplights. So,
Nobody informed the city of that. So just in time for Vintners Festival.
yeah.
Yes.
So,
In Avenue Flags, the specific plan, we're finishing up the traffic study, and once we get that together, we'll start finalizing the plan. So hopefully in the next couple months, it'll be coming to the commission for recommendation to the city council for adoption. And if you hadn't heard, Dave King is the new council member for the city. He was appointed last week by the city council to replace Councilmember Bauman. Any questions?
On 246, there's Sharrows now. I saw something online about that.
Rose can, there's some Sharrows, but not.
246?
I thought there was I thought there was some recent revisions with Caltrans.
There's no revisions just yet. The city is preparing a proposal
Okay.
of plans to submit to Caltrans.
Okay.
Actually, we submitted them last week. That was requesting just Class 2 bike lanes on 246 from Riverview Drive to Highway 101. So in some areas, it's going to have Sharrows where there's parking conflicts, but the others are going to be proposed to have some kind of bike lane. That's just a proposal being submitted to Caltrans to try to see if that they can revise their striping plan after they pave the road to have those. But that has not been approved as of yet.
But it's Class 2 mainly, but there are some areas that are going to have to be Sharrows, and they're very minor areas towards the Shell station in that area, but mainly Class 2.
So did Caltrans give a preliminary?
No.
Okay.
No, they
That's
just
Caltrans.
Yeah, they just opened the opportunity for us
Oh, okay.
to submit, but that still has to go through
Okay.
all their traffic safety and operations groups.
Okay. So did they make that opportunity available recently because of community outreach, or what prompted that?
Yes, it was just recent, and I believe they had received some complaints from the
Okay.
community.
So,
We had tried to approach them before
Right.
when we were trying to get the sidewalk, but that their project was already so far along, and this was originally supposed to be a simple road maintenance project, and they had told us no at that time, and our focus was to make sure we got sidewalks in, so
okay.
we wanted to make sure our focus remained with that, but we're going to try to take advantage of this open opportunity.
Does that potentially delay the project, or?
We submitted the plans in time for them to be able to review in time to go through with the project. The project has its own
Okay.
other issues as far as timing.
Is there any benefit for community members or others to reach out to Caltrans as well, or do you feel what you've submitted is enough?
We've had quite a few already contact Caltrans.
And I would suggest they continue to contact Caltrans so we can get the striping plans we put in approved before they do the striping. Because the more pressure they get, because the only reason we're doing it again is they got pressure to do this from the community, so they need to continue with that so we can get this continued. But it won't hold the project up.
All right. During the meeting at 7:40 or 6:45.